Excuse the mess. So basically, you get 5 modules. You get one. You can see there. It says the main controller. That's the main controller. And normally, people put the main controller in the front, so you can have 2 LEDs on even the sub controllers, but yeah. But let's just say that's what I use it for. The main controller, we have one going this way, which is this strip here, the long strip. Then we have a shorter strip which goes on the driver's side underneath the steering wheel. Yeah, so that's what the short strip goes on. But basically the main controller needs to get 12 volts. So I've put 12 volts on there. So ignore the wiring, but basically that's just 12 volts and that's the earth. They're just 2 wires, black and red, to power it on. That's all it takes. You get 4 sub controllers, yeah. They all have a strip each, yeah. So the sub controllers won't work unless the main controller is on. So think of this as a remote. So if this is not on, these won't come on. So if these have got 12 volts and this hasn't got 12 volts, these won't work. So I'll show you now how it works. So I'm just going to connect it up now. So here I'm just going to put this on here. And it should start coming on. Yeah, as you can see, it goes round. It's going all the way around. Voila. And I've got one sub-controller connected on 12 volts as well, so earth and live. And that is going on to this, it says sub-controller. And there's one strip C in LED 1. You can have another one in LED 2, but you only need another one for each door this is. And that is going on to this light here. Yeah. So if I want to add 12 more volts, I could put all these lights on. If I just connect any of these to 12 volts, they'll all work. I'll give you an example. I'll just pause it and I'll connect one of them up. But if I just disconnect, if we disconnect the sub, see the sub one's off now, but the main one will still be on. If I had the sub one on, I'll show you, the sub one's on. And then if we disconnected the main, it'll all go off. Does that make sense? So as soon as, if you put a switch on the main, or if we wire the main to an ignition, so if you put the car on ignition, then this will come on. And these can be wired to any 12 volts, even if it's permanently live 12 volts, it's not going to come on unless this is on. So the main one is what you want to think about of sourcing your power, of how you want it to work. So some people like it to come on with ignition. In that case, find an ignition live and live it to that. Or if you want it to come on with the BMW multimedia, find a live behind there and just use that. I think it turns off after 3 minutes. But that's up to you what you want to decide to use. Or you can just fuse it off the fuse box. Or you can put your own manual switch in. There's loads of choices, guys, but yeah. So if as soon as I connect these on to 12 volts, they'll all work as well. So hopefully that makes sense. So you get one main controller, and normally with the main controller you get the 2 wires, the 2 ambient strips. Then you get another 1, 2, 3, 4, and they all have an ambient strip each, so another 4 strips. I'll just connect them all up to show how it's working. Okay, I've wired them all together now, the sub controllers, the main controllers on. So as soon as I put the 12 volts, so I've got the 12 volts on, so this is the earth. So as soon as I put the earth on, you should see so they're all on now. So this will match whatever's on here. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. But you can obviously have it to whatever colour you want.